Hello, everyone out there. Welcome to another live session today with me. I'm not sure if you're able to listen to me fine. Let me check my mic settings pretty quickly. All right, I think you can hear me fine. All right, so welcome everyone on board to this amazing live session on career success myths debunked. The format is pretty simple. All you're watching me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you can post your questions in the comments and I'll be answering those questions. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So we already have people who are joining from different places. So MS Hussain, hello sir. Hi MS, how are you? We've got Rajneesh Pansali. Hi Rajneesh, how are you? So guys, feel free to ask me any questions that you might have. Saurav Chaube, how are you, Saurav? Thanks a lot for telling me I'm audible. That's great. Saurav is saying good evening. Amir, Saurav, good evening. It's actually good night over here. So it's already 2:30 a.m. in the night. But I'm actually coming this late, first of all, because it's the right time for Indian Standard Time. And I like to wake up pretty late. I like to stay pretty late in the evening. All right, so we have got questions coming in. So we'll take the questions through. The format is pretty simple. Just ask me your questions and I'll answer them straightforward. But before I come to the questions, one thing that I would like to highlight today is that the session is actually about some of the myths that we have about career that I want to debunk it. I want to debunk, but you can still ask me questions about career, entrepreneurship, jobs, or anything related to that. So the very first myth that I want to debunk about the career is we feel that degrees are pretty important for our career, and that's a very common thing. And people, when people generally apply for the job, they would say I've done an MBA or BTech or whatever, and they think that their degrees would be helpful to them. But the fact is that your degree is absolutely worthless if you do not have the right skills. And the challenge is, like, if you look at 20 years ago, the degrees were very well suited for the jobs of that time. So you would do a degree, you would learn the skills that you would need in a job, and then you would go and do the job. But the thing is that our degrees, our courses, our curriculum is already outdated, and they're not teaching what you need in the real world to succeed. So that's why the value of your degrees become like really worthless, and it all becomes about the skills. So when people sort of like apply for the jobs, they say I've done an MBA. Do you have a job vacancy in your company? I tell them, look, I do not have any job for an MBA. I have job for maybe an operations person, maybe a job for a marketing person, a finance person, but I don't care if you have done an MBA or not. What I'm looking for is the skills. If you have got the skills, then definitely there's a job for you. If you do not have skills, you can flaunt a degree, but that degree is not going to help you at all. And that goes both for the jobs as well as entrepreneurship. Like, you don't need to do an MBA or whatever course to go into an entrepreneurship. It becomes about the skills that you gain and how those skills are actually matching the needs. So even if you are an employee, even if you are an entrepreneur, all you are doing is you are actually solving a problem. So you are the part of the solution of a problem. So if a company is hiring you for any role, they are hiring you because they have got a need, they have got a problem, and they want someone to come in and actually solve that problem for them. So the question that company is after is, are you going to solve their problem? Similarly, if you're an entrepreneur and if you're selling a product or a service, then your customers has got a problem or need or pain that you are going to solve. So the very first thing that you need to ask about when you talk about your own skills or building your own brand is, what is that problem that you are trying to solve? What is that problem that you are going to solve for people? With that, I'll open up the line of the questions. Please keep the questions coming in, and then we'll take them one by one. Parvez Basha, hi Amritsar. Hi Parvez. And Sham Khan, can you tell about the food technology or food industry in Australia? Look, food industry in Australia is pretty big because Australia is one of the biggest producers of meat. It's a big producer of other agricultural products as well. But apart from that, it's not just about the the normal food industry, there's a new field that's actually emerging, which is called ag tech, agriculture technology, or food tech, or food technology. And that's a huge field. So it consists of issues about managing agriculture and horticulture properly, but also talks about how you can actually trace the origin and sources of food, how you can manage the allergies that comes as a part of the food processing, and how you can ensure that there's an audit trail in the whole food supply chain management. So when we think about any of these traditional industries, so be it mining, be it manufacturing, be it food, all of these industries have now transformed themselves to be dependent on technology. If they haven't, they will be doing pretty soon. So for example, your transport industry, taxi industry is completely being transformed with the advent of technology. So you've got like startups like Uber that have disrupted this technology. Your hotel tourism industry is completely disrupted by technology. Similarly, the food industry is actually being disrupted by technology. So, and the thing about innovation and disruption is that you can't really escape from the technological disruption. You can't fight against it. It's like a wave. The only thing that you could do is you could ride the wave. You could actually learn the skills that are required. You could identify, okay, what's happening, and then you can embrace that change. You can embrace that disruption and then get benefited of it. For example, the banking industry is a nice example of how banking sector has actually transformed themselves with the help of fintech, your finance tech, to optimize their deliveries according to the technologies. How many of you are going to bank anymore? How many of you are actually doing transactions through the banks anymore? So all of them is actually done via technology. So banks is a good example of an industry that's actually transformed itself. Similarly, food industry, even manufacturing industry is actually being transformed with the help of technology. Yunus Khan, hello, Amisar, how are you doing? Yunus, thank you so much for asking. I am doing absolutely great, absolutely amazing. Sunil Kumar, good evening, sir. Thank you so much. Rajneesh, fine, sir. Yes, sir, I am fine. Mahmood Ahmad, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Azwa Jaz, hi, how are you doing? I am doing great, sir. Thank you so much for asking. Shahbaz Khan, hi, sir. Hello. Prashant, kya haal hai, bhai? First class, Prashant. Thank you so much for asking. Aman Purohit has asked question, what excites you more, sir? So the thing that excites me more, and like that excites me most and that keeps me going, is trying and learning new things every single day. So every single day, if I'm moving in a positive direction and learning new things, even if I'm failing or succeeding, then I'm happy with my day, then I'm happy with my life. So the thing that I do not like is not being able to move forward. So that's why, like, I jump from one venture to another venture to another venture. I keep on trying new things, because for me, it's not about the success. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's just about trying new things. That's what I like to do. That's how I like to see my life going forward. It's also about contributing something to the world. So solving a problem, being a part of a solution. So there are a lot of us out there who complain about our system, like political system is bad, the government is bad, the education system is bad, and things like that. So there are a lot of people out there who just criticize things. What I like to do is, what I enjoy about my work is that I like to look at the problems and then see how I can solve them. So for me, it's about finding the solutions to the problem, and that excites me the most. So if I look at any problem out there, for example, in the recent time during coronavirus pandemic, we actually saw that there were a lot of people, especially at their old age in Australia, that were isolated and they did not have anyone to help them with food or groceries and things like that. So instead of complaining about it or saying our government is not doing anything, what I thought is, how can I contribute to it? And that's why I developed an app called Angel Next Door. That actual app actually helped people to seek help, and then their neighbors would actually offer help through that particular application. So the neighbor would get a notification if someone needs a help, and then they will go and actually provide that help. And this is just a typical example of, rather than sort of looking at the problem and complaining about the problem, trying and finding the solution. And that excites me the most. And look, the money and the fame, everything would come as a part of it. If you are running for money, if you are saying, oh, I want to be very rich, or I want to be very famous, or I want to do this, that's not the right purpose to chase. The purpose is to actually try and solve a problem, and of course move forward in your life. And secondly, a lot of people complain about that. I wish, there's a lot of talk about that if I was rich, then I would have done this. If I was a son or a daughter of an actor or a politician or whatever, I would have done this. Look, it's not about how you are or where you are with respect to everyone else. It's about where did you actually start and where have you come. So, for example, if someone started from a slum and now he is at a position where he's able to give proper education to their kid, I believe that's a huge, huge success, and that success is much bigger than any other success out there. So it's not about comparing yourself to others and in terms of where you are in terms of others, because, for example, I know there are people who are richer than me, people who are famous than me, people who are doing well than me, people who are intelligent than me, people who can speak well than me as well. But I don't care, because it's not about how am I in comparison to others. What I care about is how was I yesterday, and have I improved myself today? Like, how am I compared to what I was like 1 years ago or 2 years ago? And if I have improved, if I have sort of moved forward, then that's what matters to me the most. Now, Manzar Mustafa, Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you? I'm good. Thank you so much. LinkedIn user, hello, sir. Hi. Muhammad Junaid Siddiqui, good evening, sir. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much, Junaid. Good evening. Nice to meet you too. Puran, hello, sir. Hi, Puran. Mahmoud Ahmad, how to clear interview in lack of spoken? Mahmoud, I think your question is about how to clear in an interview if you do not have the right communication skills, if you're not able to communicate properly. Now, if you are applying for a job that does not require a huge amount of, say, English communication, first of all, it's completely all right to explain yourself in your native language if your interviewer doesn't mind it. And rather than thinking about, okay, impressing your interviewer or something like that, what you have to think about is how you can communicate who you are to him properly. Look, the thing is, you need to understand that any interviewer or any recruiter out there has got a problem, has got a gap to fill, right? So, for example, my HR team, they are under always a huge pressure because we always need more people in our organization. So they already have an axe to their head where they have to get people in. Now they are looking for the right people. All you have to do through your interview is to ensure them that you are the right person for the job and you can do it for them. And for that, you will need to do a bit of practice. You need to identify, first of all, who you are, what your skills are, how are you going to solve the problem of that company, how are you going to fit in that company, how are you going to benefit that particular company, and then illustrate that. And a good example of that is actually try practicing it. We call it elevator pitch. In 2 minutes, try and explain what is the value that you bring to your organization. Don't talk about, sir, I'm an MBA or I'm a whatever BTech topper. Doesn't matter. Talk about what are their needs, how are you going to solve their needs, and then give examples of the things that you have done within your graduation, or even if you like or in your previous jobs, that could actually match their needs. And that's about it. Ahmed Bola, good evening, thank you so much. Good evening. Atik Ahmed, what is the best career scope for a fresher during this pandemic times? So Atik, the best career scope, like there are no limits, first of all, for the career during these pandemic times. As you have seen that people have shifted to a remote work arrangement, but all of the major industries except for tourism and few others are still working, are still operating, the companies are still hiring. So this pandemic hasn't changed the career scope as such. What this pandemic has done is has added a bit of requirements that were supposed to be added in next 4 or 5 months, 4 or 5 years. For example, if you cannot do your work autonomously, you cannot do your work remotely, then there is a challenge for you to get a job, right? So your employers need to be sure that you can work remotely, you have the ability to do that work on your own. Secondly, the technology is actually involved in each and every sector. Talk about defense, talk about manufacturing, talk about any field out there, food, tourism, whatever it is. The technology is a major part. Now, you don't have to go and learn coding as such. You don't have to go and do like a technical course, but technology or being tech savvy plays an important part. So you need to be tech savvy. You need to understand how technology works and how technology interacts with your industry. So, for example, if you are a civil engineer and if you are not adept with AutoCAD or Sketch 3D, then you are already behind. If you are a mechanical engineer and you're not aware with mechatronics, then you're already behind. If you are in the health sector and if you're not aware of health technology, then you are behind as well. So it's about seeing how the innovation and technology is disrupting your industry and then finding a niche from there. So the way you sort of find a niche is, for example, if you're interested in sports, and if you've got a degree in technology, or if you've got a BTech, then you could actually merge those fields to pursue a career in sports technology. So what I would tell you is, do a strength and weakness analysis of yourself, identify what your skills are, what you are good at, and what you enjoy doing, and then look at the opportunities and threats in the market. So, and then compile them together and see what you could do from there. And that's the best approach of identifying the best career scope during these pandemic times. Pramod Kumar, hi, good morning, Amir. Good morning, Pramod. Oh, okay, yeah, good morning, because it's 2:30 a.m. over here. All right, so Mahmood Ahmed, how? Okay, so this is done. Pramod, how are you? I'm good, thanks, Pramod. Thank you so much for asking. Mohammad Junaid Siddiqui, how stable is a business MSc Agriculture Agronomy? Sorry, I couldn't understand, Junaid, this question. Can you please type this question again? Just explain what your question is. Sunil Kumar, what skill should we develop in ourselves to survive in this cut and throw competitive world? Excellent question, Sunil. The very first ones, like, is, first of all, there are two things that you need to know. One is, you need to identify your niche. What is that one thing that you are good at? And I call these things called T-level skills. So you need to identify your niche that actually goes vertically down, and then you need to have horizontal skills. So that forms the T. So earlier it was all about either eye level skill, where you would sort of just go deep down in one field. You are good at one field, and that's enough. But right now, what you need to have is these T level skills, and this horizontal thing forms of all of the soft skills. So your communication skills are extremely important. Your ability to work with team is extremely important as well. Your, now with pandemic times, your ability to work independently is extremely important. So especially the people who come from Indian subcontinent, they are pretty good at following instructions from the manager and doing their job. But now a job requires you to think more than that, do more than that. So it's not about spoon feeding anymore. You have to be able to work independently, come up with your own solutions, so rather than just following what is being told to you. That's an important part, and that's where your aptitude skills come in. Your aptitude, logical reasoning skills actually come in place. And then then your technical skills are extremely important as well. When I say technical skills, even if you are going for an admin job, you need basic technical skills. Even if you are in mechanical job, even if you're in a management position, wherever you are, you need to be tech savvy, right? So you can't complain anymore about the lack of understanding of technology. It's high time now that you embrace it and learn it and have those skills, because those skills are going to be savvy in any field that you apply for. And if you can think of any of other skills that are important to survive, let us know in the comments. I'll actually read them out if I missed a few, or if you have any more suggestions. Aman Purohit, sir, my question is, my offer cancelled. Can I clear one of government exam but could not clear interview? What to do, sir? Please guide. Okay, so Aman, you have cleared the government examination, but you could not clear the interview. The reason for that, Aman, is that our colleges and our schools, they always teach you a lot of theoretical stuff that allow you to pass the examination. But the thing is that a lot of things that you learn at your colleges, 90% of the things are not relevant to what is required in the industry itself. So identify the industry that you go into, even if it's a government sector or private sector. Identify what are the skills required in that industry. Once you have identified the skills, learn those skills, uh, improve your CV, build your CV from there, and then apply for the companies again with a proper preparation for an interview. Now the thing with the exams is our exams are mostly from the syllabus, and our education system teaches us and forces us to learn from the syllabus. But the thing is that the life is going to throw you a lot of out of syllabus questions, right? Your career, everything in your job is going to be out of your syllabus, and that starts with the interview. So your interview is not going to be from your syllabus. So when they the very first question they ask you is, tell me something about yourself or tell about your career aspirations. Do not just talk about, I have done this, I've got these many marks and blah blah blah. Talk about your expertise, your skills, and how your skills are actually going to be useful in their organization. And then your interview is going to be transformed. For example, I'll give you an example. So one of the interviews that I gave for Honda cars, when I was a fresher, I was not a topper. I had very average marks. I did not even qualify for the Honda. Their threshold limit was a bit high. But anyways, I got through the interview, and they started asking me technical questions. But I was not very good at technical. Probably you are, Aman, because you have qualified your examination. But then I asked my manager who was asking me the questions. I said, how many definitions do you have to use or tell in your actual job? And he said, none of them. So I said, the reason I'm not able to answer some of these questions are because these are theoretical questions, right? But I understand that your organization requires these skills. This is the because I actually had studied that organization pretty clearly. So I said, your organization needs Kanban, your organization needs, they use the total quality management system. And I said, look, these are the things that are not taught in an engineering college, because I'm so keen on working with your organization that I have learned those skills and I understand how the organization works. And you need someone who could manage your assembly line. You need leadership skills, team management skills, conflict resolution skills. Then I forwarded them my CV and I said, I did these things in my college, and these have helped me, and these prove that I have team management skills, I have leadership skills, I have conflict resolution skills. These are the projects that I have done that actually match with your organization. And then the technical interview was over, because they knew straight away that I'm going to solve their problem, I'm going to serve their purpose, I'm going to do what they need me to do. And that's how you beat an interview. All right, so next one is Jyoti. Hi, sir. Jyoti is asking, hi, sir, are you hiring undergraduates? So if so, where we have to apply for job in your company. Excellent. So my company, Enterprise Monkey India, we have got an office in New Delhi, and yes, we are hiring graduates as well. First of all, what you have to do is you have to follow my company, Enterprise Monkey, find out all the jobs that are out there. But even if you don't find any job that match you, just reach out to hr@enterprisemonkey.com.au. hr at enterprisemonkey.com.au. It's not .com, it's .com.au. And do not just send your CV. What you have to do is write a cover letter, understand what my organization does, and say, I understand this is what your organization does, this is what I bring to the table, this is what my skills are, and this is how I can help you. Do you have a role that would fit my organization, or that would do you have a role that would fit my skills, or something like that. So rather than just sending your CV and saying, I am a BTech graduate or MBA graduate or BCom graduate, and do you have a job, it doesn't make any sense to me, because it doesn't tell me who you are, and my HR team would receive hundreds of resumes every day. You won't be shortlisted. What you have to do is you have to stand out. You have to reach out. You have to find out who my HR is on LinkedIn. You have to find out who my team members are on LinkedIn. Reach out to them. Tell them about yourself. Write a proper cover letter and tell them how you can contribute to the organization. And that's how you get a job. Amanda Ashwarya. I'm a graduate in English literature and linguistics. What skills would you advise me to develop, and what fields can I pursue? So if you're a graduate in English literature and linguistics, If you are already not doing freelancing, then you should start doing it right away from tonight. Go to fiverr.com, create your profile. Go to upwork.com, create your profile, and start creating content, right? Having a great degree and having a master's or PhD, or whatever, is not going to help you unless you want to go into academic. If you want to go into academic, that's all right. Then you have to actually focus on writing papers and getting them published as well. But if you want to go into the corporate industry, then you should be gaining experience straight away. You should actually look at technical content writing. It's an emerging field. Direct sales writing, it's an emerging field as well. So you should actually start gaining experience straight away from now. And that would help you, first of all, to gain skills, gain experience, but also would also help you to identify what are the fields that are in demand. And you would be able to sort of find your niche from there. Now, as I said, if you are graduate in English literature, then you could probably look at, first of all, most of the applications that are actually out there, like the software and the technological systems, they need translation. They need help being converted. But there are a lot of education startups as well out there. There are educational companies out there. You should probably look at job opportunities in those organizations as well. But as I said, only your degree is not going to help you. You actually have to have more skill than that. And that's why I started this conversation by saying, do not tell me your degree, tell me what skills do you have. And then I would be able to recommend you, okay, this is the right career for you. When you say you are graduate in English literature, it's too broad for me. It doesn't mean anything for me. But if you come to me and say, look, I am good at script writing, then I can tell you that probably a lot of new animation technology or whatever requires those script. A lot of games need script, and you could probably build your career over there. But just being a graduate is too broad, and it's too useless for the industry. I'm sorry I'm being blunt, but the reason I'm being blunt is because I just want to make sure that you understand it from the very beginning. All right, so we have got Neha. Hi, Neha. What is the importance of our degree then? What's the scope of civil engineering in Australia? There's no importance of your degree. I'm so sorry. Degree, your degree is only good to get you eligible for the organization, because companies still require BTech or MBA, whatever degree. Companies still require your degree to be eligible. But if you are talking about you're a civil engineer, do you know how many civil engineers are out there in India? How many civil engineers pass out every year in India, right? There are a huge amount of civil engineers pass out every year in India. You might be able to find a job, you might not be able to find a job, but it's up to the chance itself. Unless you identify your niche, you identify your skills. Look, you would find out that I'm answering the most of the question the same way, but the reason I'm doing that is because your skills are the most important thing. Finding that niche is the most important thing. That's the crux. It's a very simple message. I try to communicate it again and again, but the challenge is that it's because it's been so imbibed by our education system, by our society, our parents. It's very difficult for you to understand. But that's why I sort of try to give my own life examples, where I talk about how my degree did not help me get a job or build my career, but my skills did. My mechanical engineering degree got me eligible for Honda, but it was my skills that actually allowed me. I was the only person from my college who got placed in Honda. There were two people from IIT, one person from NIT, and it was me. There were like four people selected in the interview that I gave out of, I don't know, there would be thousands of people who applied for it. There were 30 people who were shortlisted. I was the only one from my college. There were around 15 people from IITs and NITs that were rejected. Right? I got selected not because of my degree, not because of my marks, but because of my skills, because I found my niche and I talked to them about production systems, total quality management. I talked to them about Kaizen. I talked to them about the Japanese management system. Now, these are the things that are not being taught in your university. These are the things that you have to learn by doing projects. So if you are doing civil engineering, for example, Right now you should be having a profile on the freelancing websites I mentioned, fiverr.com, fug.com. You should be picking up free civil engineering freelancing projects, and you should be working on them now. And now is the time, not after your graduation, to gain experience and build your profile. What is the scope of civil engineering in Australia? Now, again, civil engineering is a broad field. There's a huge scope of civil engineering in Australia. There is scope for mechanical engineering in Australia. All of these fields have got scope, but the thing is that the skills that they require is the main most important thing. So you need to identify what your niche is, and then search whether those skills are actually required in an organization or not. And that's pretty simple. For example, if you as a civil engineer want to go in surveying, go to if you want to search for Australia, go to seek.com.au. That's the recruiting site. Go to LinkedIn and search for the jobs for surveyors, like surveyors, graduate surveyors, or surveyor entry level jobs. You will actually find the jobs that are out there, and you'll be able to see what type of job skills they are needing, what is the salary that's out there, and what do you need to do to prepare for it. If you don't find a lot of jobs, maybe you need to try for some different keywords or try for some different niches as well. And that's how you do like a general market research. Like, information is already out there, it's already out there. What you have to do is you have to find your niche and look for information. Don't look for civil engineering jobs, look for surveying jobs, look for inspection jobs, or whatever those specific niches in civil engineering are, AutoCAD jobs, or and then from there build your career. All right. So next is King. Amir sir, what do you do when you feel depressed to light up your day? Big fan here, sir. Thank you so much, bro. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. You have been attending all of my live sessions. Thanks a lot for that. What do I do when I feel depressed to light up my day? So actually, when I feel depressed, there are two ways I process it. One way is to actually just turn everything off. I'll just turn the work off. And what I have developed the capability to do is I have the capability to switch off my mind from whatever I was doing, and then go back to my family. So that's when I actually spend time with my family, spend time with my friends. And it's very important to be gathered by real people, not on Instagram or social media, because if you go on Instagram, social media, you look at other people's lives and you get more depressed. So that's where you have to spend time with your families, with your friends, with your loved ones. And that's what I do. The second thing that I would do is I start working on something new, something interesting, something that excites me. So for example, Enterprise Monkey, my organization, if I'm facing some challenges or whatever, and I'm probably bored by the work that I'm doing, this some challenges with my team or whatever, that's fine. I just park it over there for some time, and I start working on my own hobby projects, right? So for example, or try something else. For example, I enjoy cooking, so I whenever I feel a bit depressed or feel a bit tired, I start cooking, and rather than following a recipe, I just try making things on my own. And if you are involved in any creative process, it actually helps you get away from feeling depressed. Now, I'm not commenting on that depression itself, because depression is a different subject altogether. I'm talking about just feeling depressed or feeling stressed or feeling a bit down. Saurav Chaube, please enlighten us about the skills which are actually important in current market scenarios. Saurav, thanks a lot for asking this question. I think I've sort of already briefed these. So the very first thing is it's about identifying your niche, and your technical skills are extremely important, right? So when I say technical skills, you don't need to be a coder, don't need to be a hacker. But what you have to understand is you have to understand how technology is interacting with the things that you are doing, how to use social media, how to produce the content around what you are doing, and how to use the tools that are out there to support your industry. If you are in building industry, there are tools and softwares and systems for building. If you're in accounting, there are systems out there. So no matter what field you are, even if you are in teaching, there's online teaching systems out there. You actually have to develop those skills and learn those. And there are some golden skills that you always need that are much more important than anything else. That's your ability to communicate. Now, communication skill is not about just speaking fluently. It's about being able to communicate what you think to the person, but also being able to listen to what the other person is saying. Your problem solving skills, your analytical skills are extremely important as well. And then your ability to work with teams, right? You cannot do everything alone, so the way you manage the work, the way you coordinate with the team is extremely important. So there are some people in my company who are not pretty good with the stuff that they do technically, but they are pretty good by getting things done. And as long as they are getting things done in this way or that way, it doesn't matter to me, because they are doing the work, and that's a pretty important skill for me as well. All right, soccer lovers, is IELTS is compulsory to study in Australia? Which university is good for engineering? All right, so IELTS is not compulsory. You can appear for IELTS, PTE, or TOEFL. Yep. So TOEFL, IELTS, and PTE are the three ones, but IELTS and PTE are the most famous ones because they are easier to qualify. Most of the people choose PTE. I gave IELTS, and I found it easy enough. So you can choose between IELTS and PTE, but you would definitely need to appear in those to be able to study in Australia. And you don't need a whole lot of preparation for that. If you are like, I prepared for around 2 to 3 months. I did not buy any books or solve any papers. I just watched Netflix without subtitles. For speaking, I just started talking to the people who were actually in Australia or in foreign countries, just via those chatting speaking websites where you can actually talk to people one on one. For reading, I started reading some books by foreign authors who I really liked, and just sort of understood their style of reading. And for listening, as I said, it's about just watching the Netflix or listening to the podcast, and that actually improves your overall listening ability. All right, Mughis Ahmed. Hi, Amir sir. I have 5 years experience working in Australian company here in India. I have good SEO knowledge. If you have any remote work or freelance job, please consider me. Now, this is a great pitch, Mughis. I think everyone out there should actually learn from Mughis, because the way he's not said I'm a BTech or whatever. He has said I've got 5 years of experience working in Australian company, which is a good sign for me. I've got good search engine optimization knowledge, so I've mentioned that. Mughis, it would be better if you would also put the skills, like the results that you could deliver, and then you write, if you have any remote work or freelance job, please consider me. Mughis, I think the way you could have improved this is you could have actually said that I've reviewed your whatever website, and I see there's a scope of improvement. This is what I can bring to the table. Mughis, what I would encourage you to do is reach out to hr@enterprisemonkey.com.au with a cover letter. Mention what you do, and what you can do for the organization as well. And definitely someone will actually be in touch with you. LinkedIn user, brother, I'm also from Aligarh, started IT software work, but due to lack of marketing skill, not getting any projects. Please help. So initially, I did not have a huge marketing team as well. And I wanted to pick up IT work, so I started freelancing. So Fiverr is an easy platform where you can put up really cheap prices, and that would allow you to pick up some projects, try and build a portfolio as soon as possible. And then secondly, try and seek work from the companies that already have work. So for example, my company uses a lot of freelancers out there, so try to seek work from organizations like myself. Now look, the thing is, mine is a limited company, right? So I cannot felicitate everyone that's out there on this chat, or can give job to everyone. But what I'm saying is, find companies like myself, including my company, and reach out to them, and and try and identify the projects. So first of all, freelancing platforms are definite must to do that. Secondly, reach out to the companies that who are already providing IT solutions, so work as a subcontractor. Number 3, and extremely important, make sure that you have a profile on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So like all of them, and make sure that you are posting on these platforms every single day. Now, what to post? Rather than marketing what you do, put the work that you are doing. Provide meaningful content to the people, your target market. So who's your target market? What is the problem that you're solving for them? For example, your target market is organizations who need softwares. That's great. Tell them about how they can use softwares for different circumstances, how can they be benefited by it. But post on these social media channels every single day without fail. On Instagram, post reels, extremely important. On LinkedIn, post some of the stories of how you are doing it, but do it every single day. On LinkedIn, reach out to 50 people, 50 business owners, 50 companies every single day without fail. Like, there's no scope. You have to take time out. You have to take 2 hours out. You have to reach out to the people. Do it yourself, rather than, and do not ask for the work. Tell them who you are, what your capabilities are, and just tell them that you would like to connect and learn from them and make genuine connections with them. LinkedIn is such an amazing tool. If you do it for 1 month, 50 people every single day, you will make 1,500 LinkedIn connections. If you do it for 3 months, you will make 4,500 LinkedIn connections. You will definitely find a whole lot of work from them. But you have to make genuine connections, build genuine trust, rather than just reaching out to them and saying, we are here, we want to provide sales. That's all you need to do for the marketing. So I'll repeat myself again. Anyone out there, any entrepreneur listening out there, even if you are not from IT service, it's still applicable for you. First of all, if you cannot find your own customers, use the existing platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, whatever platforms that are out there. Use those marketplaces. Number two, if you're not able to get work directly from the client, then use the companies, the consultancies who are already getting the work from the client, and then deliver the work from them, because they are always in need of freelancers and external resources. Number three is post content about what you are doing every single day. Even if you are in manufacturing, even if you are in agriculture, no matter what you are, post content about what you are doing, how you can solve their problems. And number five, improve your LinkedIn profile. Make sure that you have your headlines and everything correct, and reach out to 50 people every day without fail. No matter whether it's Saturday or Sunday, you have to take time, 2 hours out, reach out to people, send them a connection request with a custom message. Hi Amir, I looked at your profile. I looked at Enterprise Monkey. I'm amazed by how you delivered that particular project, because there are projects out there. Rather than saying you are doing great job, so do a research and say, I am doing something similar. I would like to connect with you and form connection or learn from you or whatever it is. That's how you start making genuine connection with the people. Once you have made the genuine connection, once you have talked to them, that's when you say, okay, this is the stuff that I do. Is there something that I can actually help you with? And then offer to do them something at a very lower price or for free. Once they have worked with you, then you would actually get more work out of them. Adish, sort of hyper local stores. Sorry, Adish, couldn't understand the question. Atif Ajaz, hi, I'm a financial consultant in Mumbai and working to provide services for startups. How to find investors in Australia who can invest in Indian startups? Excellent. Reach out on LinkedIn. I think that's the very easy way to do it. In Australia, I'll tell you the way the startup ecosystem is. Investors are generally investing in groups. So they've got angel investors groups. So we have got Geelong Angels Investment Network. Do a Google search, Melbourne Angels Investment Network. And most of these investment networks are organizing these virtual events, right? So join those virtual events, join those virtual meetups, and connect to them over there. If you can travel to Australia at some stage, then of course you should probably be attending some of the startup conferences that are out there. But right now travel is not an option, so I would actually encourage you to reach out to them through these meetups and through these events, because that's the easiest way to do it. So number one, LinkedIn. Do a bit of search and you'll find a lot of investors over there. Secondly, there's a platform called gust.com, Gust, gust.com. You will find a lot of Australian investors are actually use that platform to find startups. So connect with the investors over there. You will find investors over there. Third, there is a website called angel.co, angel.co. You will find a lot of investors over there. I think among these three, you will be able to find out and reach out to all of the investors that are out there. Shub Hussain Khan, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam. Okay. MS Hussain, can you suggest me which book is best for entrepreneurs? And please share your bucket list book. All right, so I've got some books at the back over there, but one book that I read when I was at school, when I was at college, and that changed my perspective about everything about work was 4 Hours Work Week by Timothy Ferris. That's a great book. I would encourage you to definitely read that. The second book that I would encourage you to read is Four Steps to Epiphany by Steve Blank. So if you search Steve Blank or Four Steps to Epiphany by Steve Blank, that's actually a great book. And the third book is Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. It's by Angela Duckworth. It's an absolutely amazing book. Look, the thing is that you won't be able to find like the full entrepreneur's manual as such in a particular book. But you pick up those books and you start from there, and then definitely read the biographies of some of the entrepreneurs. I have really learned a lot from Elon Musk's biography and Steve Jobs' biography. I think those two are actually pretty good one. All right, now everyone listening out there, can you in the comments can you tell me some of the books that you guys read and that you would like to recommend to everyone out there? Let's see what are some of the books that we actually come up with, and then I'll read some of those books out as well. Prashant Singh, I'm a marketing engineer. Many times I feel lack of confidence with client due to spoken of English. Prashant, if you are a marketing engineer and if you're selling in India, the first of all, my question is what is the necessity of actually using English? The second thing is that English is something that you can definitely work on, right? When I moved to Australia first, my English was not that great, right? So I studied from first to 10th in Minto Circle, which is an AMU school. It was an English medium school, but it's not a convent school, right? So my teachers used to speak in Urdu or Hindi, right? The subjects, of course, the books were in English, but the conversation was always in Hindi or English. So it was never a convent school, right? Even my 11th, 12th as well. The English that I actually learned or the was just by my own efforts. So start by reading books. Make sure you are reading a book every week. But for you to be able to improve spoken English, you actually have to start speaking and start listening carefully. So listening is an extremely important thing to do. The second thing is definitely being able to speak. Now I have got a full video on how to improve your communication skills on YouTube. Have a look at that, because in that I have talked about the four major elements of communication, how you can improve your communication. The second thing is you need to assess whether your client really needs that conversation in English, right? Like for example, if I am because I am actually working with a lot of freelancers in India, a lot of companies in India. Even I take a lot of interviews in India. If I'm taking an interview of a developer or SEO or technical admin person or whatever it is, if they are stuttering in English, I start asking them questions in Hindi, because I don't care if they are speaking good English or not. What I care is if they are actually providing me the right value, if they can do the work or not. So the purpose of communication is not to flaunt your accent or speak very well. The purpose of communication is to communicate what you are trying to communicate, and that's it. So if you are not comfortable with English, and if you're not selling to clients who do not understand, like who understand Hindi, and if Hindi is your mother language, of course you can start talking to them in Hindi. It doesn't remove from your professionalism, because you are selling them a solution to a problem. You are an engineering marketing engineer, right? So you're already solving a problem for them. You tell them, okay, this is the problem, and this is how am I going to solve it, and that's it. So I don't think English should be a barrier for you at all. This thing about English is actually in our mind. So what happens is that society has so much told us that English is an amazing language. If you don't speak English, then you are not good enough, you can't succeed in your career, and so on. Well, the fact is that if you are trading in India, if everyone understands the language that you speak, especially in northern India, if you are speaking Hindi, then that's fine. Of course, if you are trading in South India, then you need to either learn their language or English. So or if they understand English. Similarly, if you're trading in Germany, your English is no good because you need to learn German to be able to communicate with those people. Purpose of the communication is to be able to convey what you want to convey and listen to them. If you are able to do that, that's all you need. You don't need a good American accent English or whatever to succeed in your career. All right. So Ahmed Bola, nice. Education is not important. Ground experience is very important in our life. Ahmed, I feel education is important. As I said, degrees are not important. Education is important because you get education by trying things. So, for example, if I have to learn a new skill, rather than spending a lot of time in just only reading books and doing courses, I would also pick up a project and do it straight away, because then I would be able to learn it and then implement it and sort of like learn from what I'm doing as well. So education is extremely important, but how you are being educated should be the correct way. So if you are an engineer, you are a scientist, you are a doctor, whoever, whatever you are, but all you are doing is just reading about the things in the books, but you are not experiencing them with your own hand, you are not getting the real world experience, you're not getting any exposure, then that education is not worth anything. So you need the right type of education, you need the right type of skills, and that comes from the ground experience, and that's the reality. Neha asked, what is the importance of a degree then? So the importance of your degree is that it makes you eligible for a job interview, right? So there are so many things that are required for you to get a job. One of those things is your degree. So you definitely need a degree for some of the jobs. For some of the jobs, you don't need a degree. I don't need degree. If you want to work at Enterprise Monkey, you don't need a degree. I don't care about your degree. I don't care about which college did you go to. I care about the skills that you have. But yes, some companies need degrees. A lot of companies actually out there need degrees. So I wouldn't say don't get a degree. Definitely get a degree. What I'm saying is your degree is not enough. That's what I'm saying. So that's an important thing. For example, if I say this water, you cannot just survive on water. You need like food and everything. So the thing is that, but it doesn't mean that your degree is not important or it's not a part of it. Of course, you should be pursuing a degree, and I'm not opposed to it. I also pursued, like I did a bachelor's and I did master's. But what I'm saying is I did not make my career solely on the basis of the degrees that I did. But the thing is that if I did not have my mechanical engineer degree, first of all, I wouldn't have got a job in Honda. Secondly, I wouldn't have got my permanent residency in Australia, because they need a graduate degree. They need, the way they measure your skill is that. So that's the minimum requirement. You definitely need a degree. But the thing is that only your degree is not going to help you succeed in your career. All right. So Abad Khan, guys, sorry, I'll come to your questions pretty quickly. I'll attend to all of your questions, and I've got some amazing things to tell you as well. So don't go yet. Abad Khan, I'm piping designer, draftsman. I lost my job from Jacobs Engineering Gurgaon. Have any opportunity for my profile in Australia? Can you help me, sir? All right. So the thing is, there are, if you have lost your job, as I recommended, and it's an open challenge to everyone listening to my live session, or if you are not listening to this now, if you're listening to record, it's an open challenge to all of you. Abad, how many people have you reached out to LinkedIn since you have lost your job? From now, today itself, first of all, make sure that your profile has got the right things in there. Make sure that you have specified in your profile title that you are actually who you are and what you are looking for. And you have to reach out 50 people from your industry, not people like me, because I'm not from your industry, but people from your petrochemical or pharma or oil and gas industry who are working in those industries or who are recruiters in those industries. Reach out to 50 people every single day. But the way you reach out to them is look at their profile, understand who they are, and then Reach out to them, tell them what you liked about their profile and why you want to build a genuine connection, rather than asking for job. Don't ask for job in the very first thing. Like, if you go to a party, like if you are meeting a lot of people, you don't just go and shake hand and say, hey, I am this and I'm looking for a job, do you have a job for me? You say, okay, I am Abad, and I'm a petrochemical engineer. I was listening to you. You seem like a good person. You've done this. I would like to know a bit more about you. And then you start conversating. Once you have conversated a bit enough and you have warmed up to them, that's when you say, can you refer me to any opportunities that are out there? The problem is, I give this challenge to so many people. People don't follow this challenge. Why is it so difficult to take 2 hours out every single day, reach out to 50 people every single day without fail for the next 30 days? But people don't do it. 3 people have so far accepted my challenge, and one person got a job in 15 days, another person got a job in 25 days. There was third person who did not get a job in 30 days, but he actually got the job after 30 days. He actually got a job after around 80 days or something, but from the same person he reached out on the 10th day of reaching out. So it was not directly turned into a job, but he started kept on conversating with the people, that those 1500 connections that he made in his industry, and one of them actually referred to a job. He applied for that job and got the job. That's how you find a job. I guarantee you will find a job if you can do this. And I'm giving this as an open challenge. Show me that you have corrected your profile, put it out your profile properly. Show me the screenshots of you reaching out and making genuine conversations with 50 people every single day for next 30 days. If you can show me 1500 genuine connection conversation that you had for the next 30 days, if you did not find a job, I'll personally help you find that job. That's my guarantee to you. आकाश त्रिवेदी, मेरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. क्यों नहीं हो सकता आकाश? बिल्कुल हो सकता है मेरे भाई, डेफिनेटली हो सकता है. Akash, the thing is, bro, sometimes we feel that we are not good enough. There are so many people who are doing amazing things. I felt the same as well. And I felt, look, in my class, there are so many toppers. There are so many people who are doing really good. Even, I saw so many people out there who were actually absolutely amazing. When I came to Australia, there were so many people who were native Australians, who spoke better English than me, who were well skilled than me as well. And I thought, I don't know if I will be able to survive here or not. But then I thought I'll give it a try. And what I found out, Akash, was that sometimes we just put ourselves really down, and it is probably due to the family pressure or society's pressure or whatever it is. The thing is, first of all, believe in yourself. Identify who you are, identify your weaknesses, then identify your strengths, and work on your strengths, work on your skills. You will definitely be successful. There's no one that can stop you. If you have got your eye on one thing, if you will move on your direction and give it your best, then the success would flow. You would not even know. The problem is that we actually worry about success a lot. We worry about the outcomes a lot, and then we decide we might not be able to do this. And this is the thing that actually prevents us from doing a lot of things. If you stop listening to others, if you stop listening to the negative you, and just put your focus on trying and doing what you want to do with your life, you would be able to do that. There's nothing out there that's going to stop you from doing that. The challenge and the problem is that we listen to the people, we listen to the society, we listen to all the voices out there that tells you that you are not good enough, you are going to fail, and so on. And this is where the failures come from. This is where the fear of failures come from. Give it a try. Give it your best. What happens if you fail? What worse could happen? So when I was in my BTech in the second year, I thought I'll develop a social network for my university. I was a mechanical engineer. I did not know coding at all. I sucked at studies. And when I discussed it with my friends and I said, I want to create a social network for my university, they laughed at me. They said, you are not even good at your studies. You're barely passing your examinations. You don't know anything about coding at all. There are these coding toppers who cannot create a social network. How can you create one? So I thought to myself, probably they are right. Probably I will fail. I'll fail miserably. but I'm already a failure. I'm not doing anything good with my life. How about I give it a try? Because if I don't give it a try, then I'll regret it for the rest of my life. You don't ever regret doing something, you always regret not doing something. So I thought I'll give it a try. I learned coding. I worked on that project with one of my friend, and I actually created that social network in 4 months. I was not a great student. I was not a brilliant student. I was not good at studies. I did not know coding at all 4 months ago. But the thing is that if I wouldn't have tried, I would have never known that I'm good enough. So rather than thinking मेरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता, yeah, I won't be able to do anything, अपने आप को चांस तो देकर देखो यार. Give yourself a try. Why are you putting yourself in such a position? Let other people say what they want to say, but just put a belief in yourself, believe in your efforts, and give it a go. Don't care about what the results are. The results, the success, the money, the fame, and everything would follow if you are giving your best, and if you are following your whatever you are passionate about persistently and determined. You won't might not get success in 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, but if you keep trying and trying and trying, you would be successful ultimately. And that what matters the most. All right. So Kasim Akhtar, how Australian employees behave with Indian employees in any company? Okay, Kasim. To answer you, to put this answer in a very simple way, ICT Geelong. I was 23 years old. I started as an intern. On the second day, I reached out to the general manager of my company, who was an Australian, of course, because it's an Australian company. And I said, the work that you have done, I could actually automate. What work that you have given me, I could automate it in 1 week. Can I do that for you? And he said, yes, sure. I automated all of that work in 1 week, and then he asked me, you have done all the work for the 1 month that you were supposed to do. What are you going to do now? And I said, look, these are the other things that I have found in your organization that I can help you with. So he recruited me as a full-time employee straight away. My internship got converted into a full-time job. 2 years later, when I was 25 years old, my general manager retired. Not retired, but he had to move on to a next role. There was a vacancy in my organization. My full board was Australian. My chairperson called me just because of my influence in the organization, and the ability of me to actually manage the full organization that I had demonstrated. He asked me at the age of 25. I was an international student who had just completed his MBA. He asked me, would you like to be the interim general manager of my company? So that's how Australians employees behave with Indian employees in any company, or your Australian boss behaves in any company. The fact is that if you are good at what you do, everyone is going to respect you. It's as simple as that. If you're not good at with what you do, if you're involved in politics or whatever it is, then you will always be at mercy of others. But if you are good at what you do, you identify your niche and you make yourself irreplaceable, then everyone out there is going to respect you. I hope I answered that question. Shoaib Hassan Khan, Hussain Khan, I've completed BTech in electrical engineering. I have core subject knowledge. Still, I'm not able to crack interviews. And now, since COVID-19, I'm not getting any interview call. Can you please guide me what I should do and what new online course should I do? Don't do any new online courses. Build your network first, Shoaib. Identify, as you said, you have core subject knowledge. That's great, but that's not helpful in cracking interviews, brother Shoaib, because, as I said, degrees are worthless if you don't have skills. First of all, you need to identify what skills you have. Have you actually gained any work experience when you were in your BTech? 4 years. You actually had 4 years to gain work experience. 4 years to do projects. Do you have any of that experience? If you don't have that, that's fine. First of all, build your network. Reach out to 50 people in your industry. As I said already, on LinkedIn every single day for the next 30 days. Build your network. Extremely important. Talk to them about their job, what they do, and so on. Do not just jump on and do another online course. Pick up 3 projects that the real world projects that you would do it unpaid, doesn't matter. Do it on fiverr.com, freelancer.com, doesn't matter. Reach out to those LinkedIn connections and say, can I have some project to work with? Just work on those projects and build your CV like that. Because then if you've got three projects that you have worked with an industry, three problems that you have solved, not just an internship. Internships are again worthless if you're not contributing anything to the organization, if you're not a part of a solution. If you got three projects, you go back in an interview and you talk to them about the projects that you have done, the problem that you have solved, the skills that you have, not just about your electrical engineering or the courses or the subjects. You will definitely get a job. And those 1500 LinkedIn connections that you would have built would actually help you get that job as well. All right, Shabazz Khan. Yes, I'm agree. Skills is the key of success. Thanks, Shabazz. Let me know what skills are you looking to learn. I would like to know in the comment section. Sashi Ranjan, sir, how can I develop trust for my innovative product on me by our clients? Okay, Shashi, the thing about building the products is, if you are building a product, an innovative product out there, and then giving it to the clients to use it, it's never going to work. The lean startup methodology tells that you always build the product with the customer. So you build a minimum viable product and test it out with the customers, give it to the customers, ask them to use it and provide the feedback. So that the way you build that trust is by asking the question and solving a problem for them, rather than saying, okay, this is an amazing product, this is going to solve your problem. No, what you have to do is you have to talk to them and say, okay, I can see this is a problem. Do you think this is a problem? This is a pain. They say yes. All right. Next time you go back to them and say, I've got a solution for this. Are you interested in this solution? Do you think this is the right solution? They say, I might give it a try. All right. Go back, develop a very small part of the solution that's called MVP, minimum viable product. Go back to your customer, then say, try this. I'm not charging you anything, whatever. Just give it a try and tell me what you think about it. They will try it and they will say, okay, this is the things I like. These are the things that I don't like. Go back and then iterate your product, develop your product from there. That's the way most of the startups that are out there become successful, is by doing customer discovery, learning from their customers and building their product with the customers rather than for the customers. Never build a product for the customers. Always build a product with the customer. Manzar Mustafa, what skills I need to become a CEO of my own company? So Manzar, there are two phases of a company. Like, there are more phases of a company, but two main ones are, one is when you are founding your company, and the second is once you have established a company. So once you are founding a company, when you're founding a company, you actually need three main skills, and you don't need to have all of them. You need someone with an engineering background who could actually, or technical background, who could actually control your product or service or whatever it is. Someone from marketing background who could actually sell your services for you or product for you, and someone with who has got flair for managing the full organization. So just make it all up and running. So if you are starting a new venture altogether, then you should actually learn lean startup methodology. Go and search lean startup methodology. You will actually all of the things that are taught over there are extremely important. Now, you don't need to buy a course. You can actually find all of the resources that are out there for free. Go to steveblank.com. You'll find all the resources for free. Now, becoming a CEO of an established company is pretty different, because being a CEO of an established company, you need to look at some of the major departments. So you need to look at the finance. Extremely important to get a basic knowledge of finance. You need to look at marketing and sales, and you need to look at the delivery, and you need to look at the administration. So generally, I like to see my organization in three parts. One is the administration and finance, that covers HR or finance, administration. The second is the delivery part, which is the for example, mine is development team. It could be the production or whatever. And the third is the marketing and sales part. And you need to actually have the skills to be able to understand these three things properly. Because if you're not able to understand these three main things, then at least the overview of these things, then you would be able to be a proper CEO of your company, because you need these three things. But most important, from on the top of all of these things, you need people skills, right? So I am good at so many things, but the thing that I focus most is in actually being able to get the work done by the people. So identifying the right people, making sure that their dynamics is right, they are placed at right position, training them properly as well, and then giving them the independence and power to actually execute the work. And that's extremely important for you to become a CEO. Another thing that I focus on my organization is building processes and systems. So everything that happens in my organization is documented as a process and as a system. So, and those processes are controlled by the system that I've actually put in place. So those processes and systems are extremely important. So if you are running a company and you do not have clear processes and checklists and guidelines for each and everything that you do, then you will never be able to scale your organization, and you will be running from here to there. You know, how many hours do I actually spend on my own organization, Enterprise Monkey, every day? Guess. I do not spend more than 4 hours in any given day on Enterprise Monkey, my main company. I work for 6 hours, sometimes I work for 8 hours or 12 hours, but I'm working on different projects. But I do not spend more than 4 hours on my company on every single day, because I've set up systems and automations and dashboards in such a way that I do not need to do so. I get notifications if something's going wrong. I can just open up my phone and look at what's happening within my organization at any point of time. I've got the right responsibilities and everything. I've got the right checks in place. And that's all happened because I've set up the right processes and systems in place. So extremely important. If you want to live a peaceful life and be a CEO, that's something that you would need to do. All right. So, Sayyid Ubaid Ahmad, nice to meet Amir Kutub. Thank you so much, Sayyid Ahmad, Ubaid Ahmad. Nice to meet you, Ubaid, as well. Neha Inayatullah, your role model. I do not have one role model actually, but I really admire Elon Musk. Great guy, absolutely amazing guy. If you haven't read his biography, actually, I've got his biography at the back. Read about him. Like, absolutely, absolutely amazing guy. Make sure you read about him. Sania Hussain, nice. Thanks, Sania. Shabazz Khan, sir, can you tell me what is skill requirement for civil engineer for opening own construction industry? Okay, so the thing is, Shabazz, as I said, civil engineering is a very broad field. Where if you want to open your own construction company, the thing is you need to identify what do you want to do construction in. Is it a commercial sector construction or residential construction center? But if you are a builder, or if you own a software company like me, or even if you own a management company, whenever you are owning a company, the most important skill, there are two skills. One is identifying the market needs, identifying the problems, and solving that problem. For example, if the market needs apartments, but you are building villas, then it's not going to work. So identifying what is the market need, what are they after. If the market is for the young families and you are building lavish homes or whatever, you need to identify exactly what's the market need. But any business owner, essentially what they are doing is they are actually managing two things. One is processes and systems, the second is resources. So you need to ensure that you are able to manage the resources effectively, manage the people effectively. And to do that, you need to learn how to build systems and processes. If you know how to build systems and processes, you can develop a multinational company. You can develop a huge multi-million company. I'm able to execute and roll out business so quickly, and I'm able to mentor and guide so many businesses is because what I do is I build systems, build processes, and then let those businesses flourish on their own. Because once I've built systems and processes, I've got the right people in, then they can do their job. If you are not focused on building your systems and processes, your business would actually go down pretty fast. All right, so guys, I'll take 5 more questions pretty quickly, and then I'll finish the session. We are already past 1 hour mark. Ankit Singh, bro, how to crack any interview? I'll actually make a full video on this. But to crack an interview, first of all, you need to identify what company are you going to interview for. Make sure you have done a thorough research on that particular company. Make sure your CV matches what is being told in that company. But the most important part in cracking an interview is answering this question correct. Tell me something about yourself, because this question is going to influence your whole interview. Because if in tell me something about yourself, you are just telling about, okay, I'm this, my mother is this, my father is this, and blah blah blah, I did my btech or I did my mba or whatever. It's not going to help. What you have to do is you have to know what they are looking for, what are their needs, and in your tell me about yourself, you actually mention that thing in the very first go, and then explain it with examples. So for example, as I said, with honda cars, in my tell me about yourself, I did not talk about the mechanical engineering or the thousand things that I did. I talked to them about, because I knew that they are using total quality management systems and quality control systems and production management. I talked to them about how I have implemented quality control in the things that I do, how I've got those skills, and I talked to them about my projects that I have done. So, talking about your projects or work experience, even if you are a fresher, talk about your projects that you have done and how it relates to that company is the best way to actually easiest way to crack an interview, because they are looking for someone who would match their skill set. Make sure that you're reading a job description properly, and make sure you have got an example for every point in that job description. Even if you have to make up some examples, make those examples up, but make sure that you have got examples of all of those job description. But I'll definitely make a full video on this one. Martin Deporez, hello Amir, very nice to hear. Thank you so much. Origins Publication, hi. Hi, Waka Dongre. What is your mindset about your work and organization? Do you work out often? Like workout? Okay, so no, I don't. I do physical workouts, but mentally, I think it's just that because I love what I do, it's very simple for me. Because I just enjoy my work. So, and it doesn't feel like sort of like a work burden for me. So I'm just passionate about what I do. So I just enjoy what I'm doing as such. What is your mindset about your work and organization? I don't. Probably what you are trying to ask something else. Can you actually reiterate your question, Wakar? That would be really helpful for me. Amir Khan Alik, how are you, Secretary Sahab? I am good. Thank you so much for asking, Amir. Sanjeet Kumar, how to set up own company if I'm an Android developer and want to provide Android development service? That's easy. First of all, you can start working as a freelancer. Create your profile on Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, create a website. Now, to register your company, you can start by registering an LLP or LLC in India. Don't register a private limited. Very simple registration would cost you 5,000 to 10,000 rupees. And if we have got someone who can help him with company registration, please mention in the comment section. But that's just a very simple registration. It's about create buy a domain, uh, dash Android development or whatever. Create a very simple one page website, put it out on your LinkedIn, and then start posting information about your Android development things on your social media platform. So make sure you have got a profile on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube is fine, but mainly Instagram and LinkedIn are the two main platforms that you should be focusing on, and just start putting the information out there, and reach out to 50 people every single day for the next 30 days who might need Android application development, and that would actually help you build genuine connections as well. All right, guys. Sorry, I'll just take few more questions. Mohammed Junaid Siddiqui, sir, I am agronomist, like agriculture research future. I'll start online agriculture chemical seed pesticider. Dear sir, please suggestion. Okay, that's a great thing. Agriculture researcher future. I'll start online agriculture. Are you trying to set up an online shop? If you're trying to do that, I'm actually going to make a video on how to set up your e-commerce business. I'll send you a link to that because it's a wide topic. I have to explain each and everything over there. But it's a very nice field, I would say. The thing is that you need to identify is the things that who are you selling it to, what is the develop a user persona of the canvas, who those people are, what is their education level, what is their skill level, what is their technical level as well, how much they are adapt to the technology as well. Are you selling it to the farmers or the kids of the farmers who are now going to the school and can use technology? Who are you selling it to? Then you have to make sure that your interface and everything is as simple as that, so that they are able to place the orders. Do they what payment systems can be used as well. So identify who your target market is, what are their requirements first, and would they actually buy it from you online or not. So do a bit of customer discovery, reach out to some of your target market, people in your target market, and ask them if this is available online, would you buy it or not. Then develop a minimum viable product, a very simple ordering system, and see the orders that you are getting, and then keep on talking to your customers and seeing how you can actually improve the overall user experience for them. Because if you do that, then you would be building your product with the customer, not for the customer, and that's extremely important. Sanjit Kumar, how to set up own company? Okay, that's done. Biswajit Raut, how to be fluent in English speaking. I've done a video on communications on YouTube. I think that mentions it pretty well, Biswajit. But what I would encourage you to do is go on Instagram, if you don't have an Instagram profile, and start doing live sessions where you are speaking in English. Don't It doesn't matter if you are not able to speak well or not, because you would have a small amount of following. The best way to learn to be fluent in English speaking is actually by practicing it. And if you just do it live, then you can't pause. So you just go live on Instagram and start speaking about whatever topic you would like to. I'm telling you, if you do it for the next 30 days, every single day, and you look back at on the and save your all of your lives on IGTV, look at your first live and look at your 30th live, you will see a huge improvement as well. So from tonight itself, go live on Instagram today, tonight, or tomorrow, at least for 30 minutes, and just speak in English about a topic that you want to speak about. That will remove your hesitation, that will allow you to think, and allow you to speak while you are thinking as well. And also start thinking in English as well. So rather than just thinking in Hindi and speaking in English, start thinking in English. So whenever you are thinking about something, I'll do this, I'll do that, just start thinking in English. It might sound a bit odd, but with a bit of practice, you will be able to start thinking in English as well. So do this Instagram live exercise for the next 30 days. Trust me, brother, trust me, your English fluency would increase. So now I would actually check on you, make sure that you are doing this for the next 30 days, and I can pretty much tell you, you will be giving me a testimony, and you will be telling me that, Amir, you told me that this will improve my fluency, and it has actually improved my fluency. This has been tested with a lot of people, and has helped them a lot. You just need to take a bit of efforts, right? I cannot give you like a Sanjeevni booty or whatever that will just put fluency inside you. You have to put yourself out there, try it, and then I'm pretty sure you will be able to speak very fluently as well. All right, guys. Kamini Mishra, hello, sir. I want to ask, what is the mindset and thinking when you decide a single decision after failure about strength? About strength, about mindset. What's your thinking that time after failure to back up you again as latest version? Okay, Kamini, that's a great question. So, Kamini, what I focus on is, whenever I look at failure, I don't look at failure as a setback. I look at it as a feedback. So when you start looking at as failures rather than being a setback, but as a feedback, I look at failure as an information. For example, if I tried a venture, say I created a new service or a new product, pushed it out to the market, but I went into loss because of the loss of the customer, whatever. Now, rather than being disappointed by it, this is a new information for me. This is a feedback for me. I will take that information, go to my whiteboard. If you can actually look at my camera, there's my whiteboard, drawing board out there. So I will go there, and then I will start processing that information. Okay, this is what I tried. This is the outcome. These could be the reason that I failed. Then I analyze those things, and then I think, what are the things that I could do differently now to make sure that I succeed. So I'll give you a very simple example. I started posting on Instagram and LinkedIn and other platforms. That I was posting a lot, but my engagement rate was low. And now I tried for 1 month or 2 months, but engagement was pretty low. That was a failure because I tried something, I failed at it, but I did not take it as a setback. I took it as a feedback. I said, okay, this is something that's actually failing. what are the reasons that they are failing. So I sort of went to my drawing board and say, okay, these are the reasons that it could have failed. How about I remove this? How about I do not do like very long slide post? How about I change the design? How about I try a story type post? How about I try and do this? And I go back and try that thing, and I try again. I might fail again. Now this is a new learning for me, but with every failure I'm learning something new and I'm trying something new as well. And just by doing those iterations, you are able to find the right formula. No one can give you the right formula. No one will tell you the way that will only lead to success. You have to go through the path. You Every failure is a feedback. You learn from those feedback and try again, and that's how you become successful. And that's my mindset. Like, I don't like, the thing is, because I'm involved in so many businesses every day I've got a problem in my business. Every day I've got a lost client or an angry client or whatever it is. Every day I've got a loss somewhere. So there's so many things that are actually out there. Every day I have successes as well. So I don't get extremely happy at my successes. I don't get extremely sad at my failures. I just took all of them as information. I tried these things. This thing worked. This thing didn't work. All right, let's reanalyze it. Let's try this thing. Let's try do thing. So once you come in that mindset of constantly learning and evolving, the failures do not matter to you at all. And that's one of the keys to my success. Shashi Ranjan, sir, if I only have able to learn anything by reading books and watching online resources, can I really make something which really matters for some group of people or society? Uh, Absolutely, Shashi. Why not? As I said, you don't need a formal education to be able to do that. And most of the things that I learned was by reading books, watching online resources, but also trying the things. So one thing, if you can add one more thing, is by trying things, by actually implementing those things, by testing things, by doing pilot project. If you can add that to your abilities, so learn anything by reading book, watching online, and trying and learning from your failures, then you can definitely make something which really matters for some group of people or some group of society. There's no doubt in that. Okay, all right, guys. Sorry, I've got still a lot of questions. I don't know. I might have to leave in next 10 minutes, but I'll definitely try to cover as many as I can. Say them that I have to give in 2 interviews confidently in last week, but manager told he will talk to HR and tell me about result. Until now, they haven't got even a reply. How should I ask them if they are going to hire or not? Say them that I'll definitely pick up the phone and call the manager, call the HR and say I was just following up. I'll definitely leave them an email as well, and just say, hey, I was calling to ask if you need any more information from me, or say, hey, I was calling to say that we discussed the following things, but I did not tell you about this work experience or this skill that I actually had. How are you going with your recruitment process? Is there anything that I could help you to do with the recruitment process? And they would actually appreciate that. People do not mind if you actually follow them up. I really like if someone is following up for the job. And there are so many jobs that I would tell you that I would have just delayed on, and just because the person followed up with me, I have was actually go back to them and give them the job. So extremely important to follow up politely in a nice way. And I'll definitely encourage you to do that. Ram Sharma, hello sir, please tell me the opportunities in web development, basic to advanced level courses. Don't talk to me about courses, brother, but opportunities in web development are extremely high. So the thing is, now web development, everyone could do web development nowadays with softwares and things like out there. So the scope is in two things. One is in website consulting, where you are not just a developer, but you are like a full stack website developer, where you can take a client requirement, convert it into design, and create a website. It could be on a simple website on WordPress, but you could do everything for them. So that's being not just a developer, but a website consultant. That's an important skill. The second scope is in web applications. So your accounting system nowadays are cloud based. Your teaching systems are cloud based. All of them are what? Web applications. And there's a huge scope in web applications. If you can develop your scope in that, that would be good. So and language is just a means. So you could start with something like Node.js, AngularJS, so mean stack, or a simple LAMP stack, which consists of PHP, and your Apache and Linux and MySQL. So either PHP MySQL if you want to start with something simple, or a mean stack, which is Node.js, Angular, with MongoDB combination. And web application is definitely a growing space altogether. Syed Amjad, sorry Syed, I've already taken your question. So I will answer you all of your questions later on. I'll definitely make a video on this. Sachin, I'll take your question. Can you suggest some extra skills for mechanical engineers so that they can develop during BTech? Okay, Sachin, what you have to do is you have to right now start looking for projects that you can do in mechanical engineering with the organization. It could be projects from home, projects from working remotely, it doesn't matter. But make sure that you are doing this project. So these projects should be AutoCAD designing, this project could be technical report writing, or these projects could be in actually developing a product design specification or something like that. But also as a mechanical engineer, they don't, if you want to go in production, they don't tell you anything about production, total quality management, quality control. So make sure that you are learning those things. If you want to go in mechatronics, then definitely learn a bit of electronics and learn about robotics and mechatronics. That's an important field as well, because mechanical engineering is huge. So you have to identify what your niche is, where you want to go, and then learn skills for those, because your mechanical engineering skills would not actually help you get a job. These additional skills would. All right, guys. That's it. I'll just take the last question. I'm extremely sorry I was not able to take all the questions. Already 1.5 hours. I'll just take last message from Wakar. Why did you find your organization while you were looking for jobs earlier? What was your mindset which got your organization successful, and what do you do for mental and physical fitness? So, Wakar, the reason I found my organization was I was always passionate about finding my own organization, and that was one of the reasons that I left my initial job at Honda Cars. That was something that I was passionate about. The reason I was looking for jobs was because I needed money to survive. I was looking for a job that could allow me to earn money and then give me time to establish my business. Because, just resigning from one job and just putting all of it in business is not a solution. That's why I was looking for a job. When I left my job at Honda, when I resigned, it was a rash decision. I just took it. But then I faced the reality that I did not know how to do the business, and I still needed money to survive. That's why I was looking for a job. But then I wanted to create my organization as well. Now the question is, what was your mindset which got your organization successful? Okay, so the initial mindset that I actually had was wrong, but it helped me start my organization. So my initial mindset was about growth. I was an extreme risk taker. I'm a risk taker by the virtue of it, and I just went all in because I wanted to pursue it. And I was able to start my organization. But in the first 3 years, everything started getting down. I was in like $100,000 debt, like $1 lakh debt, and my company was struggling. People were not getting paid. My invoices were delayed. My customers were not happy. That's when, and this was one of the major setbacks altogether. But this was a failure. I did not took it as a setback. I took it as a feedback. I looked at what are the things that are going wrong and how can I improve it. What are the things that I can actually specifically work on? And that's when I identify, in any organization, the most important thing to do is to set up the processes properly. So if you are setting up the processes of your organization properly, and then when I talk about process, what do I mean is that everything that you are doing in your organization, every decision that you're going to make needs to be documented, and everything should be done via process. For example, if you are onboarding a client for a new project, then there should be a very well defined process, a step by step approach of how you are going to do that. If you are going to produce something, develop something, there should be a process on how that would work. If you're going to hire people, there should be a process as well, because an organization is nothing but a combination of process and the resources, human resources put together. Those are the two main important parts of an organization. If you do not have your processes and systems right, then your organization is going to fail. In terms of mindset, my mindset always has been that it doesn't matter if I'm going to fail or not. With every failure, I'm going to take the feedback, the learnings from it, and I'm going to give it a try again. And that has helped me become successful. What do you do for mental and physical fitness? I'm actually not very good at doing a lot of things for physical fitness as such, but I like do basic running and like just basic small, very light gym exercises. What I do for mental fitness, I actually one of the things that I do is I do not wear myself out. So as soon as I've done the work, I leave my work and I actually try and enjoy myself. So, ask me about any movie I would have watched. I love Bollywood movies. I watch all the Bollywood movies. I don't watch news because news is a waste of time, especially Indian news, extremely waste of time. Movies give me happiness. I watch movies. I watch Netflix series, a whole lot of them. I actually conversate a lot with friends. So people would imagine that being so busy would not allow me to spend time with my family and friends. The fact is that the level of time that I spend with my families and friends is actually huge. But it's not also the quantity of the time, it's about the quality of the time. So when I'm with my family, when I'm with my friends, I don't care about what's happening with my business. Even if whatever is happening, I just keep it aside and I just focus on enjoying and nourishing my time with them. And that actually helps me sort of like keep my mindset refreshed. I hope I answered that question. Now, all of you watching out there, please let me know if these sessions are helpful and if I should continue these sessions, and what is the most interesting thing that you like about these sessions. I would love to know that. If you can give me likes, thumbs ups, or hearts, it will actually tell me that you are really enjoy these sessions. But please let me know in the comment section straight away. What are the things that you like about this session, and do you enjoy these sessions? Should I continue these sessions or not? And what are the other things that I should be actually talking to about in these sessions? I would really appreciate that. All right, guys, thank you so much once again. I know there are a lot of questions that I have left unanswered. I am 100% sure I will review all of those comments. I'll come back to you with the answers for that as well. But please let me know, whoever is watching this video, whether these sessions are informative, useful. How can I make them more useful? And for most importantly, should I continue doing these sessions or not as well? I'll see you next time. This I probably same time on Thursday on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you're not following me on Instagram, please make sure you follow me on Instagram, because the things that I share on Instagram are not the same over here. And on Instagram, I'm able to get in touch with you on a more personal basis as well, because I do a lot of lives and one-on-ones as well. So make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Amir Kutub. Vakar has asked, how often do you come live? Vakar, every week, Thursday, 9 p.m. I might change the timing to a bit earlier because it gets pretty late in Australia, but it's every week on Thursday on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. But I come live on Instagram pretty often. So make sure that you are following me on Instagram. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Gaurav has said very informative session, sir. Please let me know, guys, once again, if these sessions are informative and should I continue doing them. And now my throat is completely exhausted, and it's already 4 a.m. in Australia, so time for me to sleep and time for you to take some action. Then I'll see you guys next week. Till then, stay safe, take care, love you all. Bye bye.